just back into the book. That it's nice to be making I guess law like this. Okay. Often when you go into a relationship with someone you like, you have to justify why you like that person. You only see what you want to see, and you deny there are things you don't like about that person. You lie to yourself just to make yourself right. Then you make assumptions, and one of the assumptions is my love will change this person. But this is not true. Your love will not change anybody. If others change, it's because they want to change, not because you can change them. Then something happens between the two of you, and you get hurt. Suddenly, you see what you didn't want to see before, only now it is amplified by your emotional poison. Now you have to justify your emotional pain and blame them for all your choices. We need to justify love. It is there or not there. Real life is accepting other people the way they are without trying to change them. If we try to change them, this means we don't really like them. Of course, if you decide to live with someone, if you make that agreement, it is always better to make that agreement with someone who is exactly the way you want him or her to be. Find someone whom you don't have to change at all. It is much easier to find someone who is already the way you want him or her to be, instead of trying to change that person. Also, that person must love you just the way you are, so he or she doesn't have to change you at all. So why be with someone if you're not the way he or she wants you to be? We have to be what we are, so we don't have to present a false image. If you love me the way I am, okay, take me. If you don't love me the way I am, okay, bye bye, find someone else. It may sound harsh, but this kind of communication means the personal agreements we make with others are clear and impeccable. Just imagine the day that you stop making assumptions with your partner and eventually with everyone else in your life. Your way of communicating will change completely in your relationships. You will no longer suffer from conflicts created by mistaken assumptions. The way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask questions. Make sure the communication is clear. If you don't understand, ask. Have the courage to ask questions until you are as clear as you can be. And even then, do not assume you know all there is to know about a given situation. Once you hear the answer, you will not have to make assumptions, because you will know the truth. Also, find your voice to ask what you want. Everybody has the right to tell you yes, to tell you no or yes. But you always have the right to ask. Likewise, everybody has the right to ask you, and you have the right to say yes or no. If you don't understand something, it is better for you to ask and be clear instead of making an assumption. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate clearly, cleanly, and clearly, free of emotional poison. Without making assumptions, your word becomes impeccable. With clear communications, all of your relationships will change. Not only with your partner, but with everyone else. You will need to make assumptions because everything becomes so clear. This is what I want. This is what you want. If we communicate in this way, our word becomes impeccable. If all humans could communicate in this way, with impeccability of the word, there would be no wars, no violence, no misunderstandings. All human problems would be resolved if we could just have good, clear communication. This, then, is the third agreement. Don't make assumptions. Just saying this sounds easy, but I understand that it is difficult to do. It is difficult because we so often do exactly the opposite. We have all these habits and routines that we are not even aware of. Becoming aware of these habits and understanding the importance of this agreement is the first step. But understanding importance is not enough. Information or an idea is merely the seed in your mind. What will really make the difference is action. Taking the action over and over again strengthens your will and nurtures the seed and establishes a solid foundation for the new habit to grow. After many repetitions, these new agreements will become second nature. You will see how the magic of your word transforms you from a black magician into a white magician. A white magician uses the word for creation, giving, sharing, and loving. By making this one agreement a habit, your whole life will be completely transformed. When you transform your whole dream, magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to you easily because Spirit moves freely through you. This is the mastery of intent, the mastery of the Spirit, the mastery of love, the mastery of gratitude, the mastery of life. This is the goal of the Toltec. This is the path to personal freedom. Chapter 5. The Fourth Agreement. Always do your best. There is just one more agreement, but it's the one that allows the other three to become deeply ingrained habits. The fourth agreement is about the action of the first three. Always do your best. Under any circumstance, always do your best. No more and no less. But keep in mind that your best is never going to be the same from one moment to the next. Everything is alive. Everything is alive and changing all the time. So your best will sometimes be high quality, and other times it will not be as good. When you wake up refreshed and energized in the morning, your best will be better than when you are tired at night. Your best will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick, as sober as opposed to drunk. Your best will depend on whether you are really wonderful and happy, or upset, angry, or jealous. In your everyday mood, your best can change from one moment to another, from 1 hour to the next, from one day to another. Your best will also change over time. As you build the habit of the 4 new agreements, your best will become better than it used to be. Regardless of the quality, keep doing your best. No more and no less than your best. If you try too hard to do more than your best, you will spend more energy than is needed, and in the end your best will not be enough. When you overdo, you 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 deplete your body, and you go against yourself, and it takes you longer to accomplish your goal. But if you do less than your best, you subject yourself to frustrations, self-judgment, guilt, and regrets. Just do your best in any circumstance in your life. It doesn't matter if you are sick or tired. If you always do your best, there is no way you can judge yourself. And if you don't judge yourself, there is no way you are going to suffer from guilt, blame, and self-punishment. By always doing your best, you will break a big spell that you have been under. There was a man who wanted to transcend his suffering, So he went to a Buddhist temple to find a master to help him. He went to the master and asked, Master, if I meditate 4 hours a day, how long will it take me to transcend? The master looked at him and said, if you meditate 4 hours a day, perhaps you will transcend in 10 years. Thinking he could do better, the man then said, Oh Master, what if I meditated 8 hours a day? How long will it take me to transcend? The master looked at him and said, if you meditate 8 hours a day, perhaps you would transcend in 20 years. But why will it take me longer if I meditate more? The man asked. The master replied, You are not here to sacrifice. You're not here to sacrifice your joy or your life. You are here to live, to be happy, and to love. If you can do your best in 2 hours of meditation, but you spend 8 hours instead, you will only grow tired, miss the point, and you won't enjoy your life. Do your best, and perhaps you will learn that no matter how long you meditate, you can live, love, and be happy. Doing your best, you are going to live your life intensely. You are going to be productive. You are going to be good to yourself, because you will be giving yourself to your family, to your community, to everything. But it is the action that is going to make you feel intensely happy. You always do your best. You take action. Doing your best is taking the action because you love it, not because you expect a reward. Most people do exactly the opposite. They only take action when they expect a reward. They don't enjoy the action, and that's the reason why they don't do their best. For example, most people go to work every day just thinking of payday and the money they will get from work, the work they are doing. They can hardly wait for Friday or Saturday, whatever day they receive the money, and can take time off. They are working for the reward, and as a result, they resist work. They try to avoid the action, and it becomes more difficult, and they don't do their best. They work so hard all week long, suffering the work, suffering the action. Not because they like to, but because they feel they have to. They have to work because they have to pay the rent, because they have to support their family. They all have their frustration, and when they do receive their money, they are unhappy. They have 2 days to rest to do what they want to do, and what do? They try to escape. They get drunk because they don't like themselves. They don't like their life. There are many ways that we hurt ourselves when we don't like who we are. On the other hand, if we take action just for the sake of doing it, without expecting a reward, you will find that you enjoy every action you do. Reward, rewards will come. You are not attached to the reward. You can even get more than you would have imagined for yourself without expecting a reward. If we like what we do, if we always do our best, then we are really enjoying life. We are we are having fun. We don't get bored. We don't have frustrations. When you do your best, you don't give the judge the opportunity to find you guilty or to blame you. If you've done your best and the judge tries to judge you accordingly to your book of law, you've got the answer. I did my best. Book of law. There are no regrets. That is why we always do our best. It's not an easy agreement to keep, but this agreement is really going to set you free. When you do your best, you learn to accept yourself. When you have to be aware and learn from your mistakes. Learning from your mistakes means you practice. Look honestly at the results and keep practicing. This increases your awareness. Doing your best really doesn't feel like work because you enjoy whatever you are doing. You know you're doing your best when you are enjoying the action or doing it in a way that will not have negative repercussions for you. You do your best because you want to do it, not because you have to do it. Not because you are trying to please the judge, not because you are trying to please other people. If you take action because you have to, then there is no way you are going to do your best. Then it is better not to do it. No, you do your best because doing your best all the time makes you so happy. When you are doing your best just for the pleasure of doing it, you are taking action because you enjoy the action. Action is about living fully. Inaction is the way we deny life. Inaction is sitting in front of the television every day for years because you are free to be alive. Take the risk of expressing what you are. Expressing what you are is taking action. You have that many great ideas in your head, but what makes the difference is the action. Without action upon the idea, there will be no manifestation, no results, and no reward. A good example of this comes from the story about Forrest Gump. He didn't have great ideas, but he took action. He was happy because he always did his best at whatever he did. He was richly rewarded without expecting any reward at all. Taking action is being alive. It's taking a risk to go out and express your dream. This is different than exposing your dream from someone else, because everyone has the right to express his or her own dream. Doing your best is a great habit to have. I do my best in everything I do and feel. Doing my best has become a ritual in my life because I made the choice to make it a ritual. It's a belief like any other belief that I chose. Taking a shower is a ritual for me, and with that action, I tell my body how much I love it. I feel and enjoy the water on body. I do my best to fulfill the needs of my body. Do my best to give to my body and receive what my body gives to me. In India, they perform a ritual called puja. In this ritual, they take idols that represent God in many different forms and bathe them, feed them, and give their love to them. They even chant mantras to those idols. The idol itself is not important. What is important is the way they perform the ritual, the way they say, I love you, God. God is life. God is life in action. The best way to say I love you, God, is to live your life doing your best. The best way to say thank you, God, is by letting go of the past and living in the present moment, right here and now. Whatever life takes away from you, let it go. When you surrender, let go of the past, allow yourself to be fully alive in the moment. Letting go of the past means you can enjoy the dream that is happening right now. If you live in a past dream, you don't enjoy what is happening right now. But you will always wish it to be different than it is. There is no time to miss anyone or anything because you are alive. Not enjoying what is happening right now is living in the past. And being only half alive, this leads to self-pity, suffering, and tears. You were born with the right to be happy. You were born with the right to love, to enjoy, to sell your love. You are alive, so take your life and enjoy it. Don't resist life passing through you, because this is God passing through you. Just your existence proves the existence of God. Your existence proves the existence of life and energy. We don't need to know or prove anything, just to take the risk and enjoy your life. Is all that matters. Say no when you want to say no, and yes when you want to say yes. You have the right to be you. You can only be you when you do your best. When you don't do your best, you are denying yourself the right to be you. That's the seed you should really nurture in your mind. You don't need knowledge or great philosophical concepts. You don't need the acceptance of others. You express your own divinity by being alive and by loving yourself and others. It is an expression of God to say, hey, I love you. The first three agreements will only work if you do your best. Don't expect that you will always be able to be impeccable with your word, your routine. Habits are too strong and firmly rooted in your mind, but you can do your best. Don't expect that you will never take anything personally, just do your best. Don't expect that you will never make another assumption. You can certainly do your best. By doing your best, the habits of misusing your word, taking things personally, making assumptions, become weaker and less frequent with time. You don't need to judge yourself, feel guilty, or punish yourself. keep these agreements. If you're doing your best, you will feel good about yourself even if you still make assumptions. Still take things personally and still not impeccable with your word. If you do your best always, over and over again, you will become a master of transformation. Practice makes the master. Right? Well, that's it for today. Um, I get the idea, the third of the book, and of the chapters and all that, but it really gets pretty repetitive that at times. The song they play and just kind of reading a bit faster each time. For that, I want. But yeah, that's only making progress. So, till the next time.